What is going on, everybody? Hope everybody's doing well. Wolfie's supposed to be here. I don't know where he went. He was here, but then disappeared for a sec. So we're waiting on him, but guess I'll wait till he's back on the screen. But yeah, guys, we are live. We are going to be talking the 49ers, special teams, that's going to be the main topic for today, as well as talk about some of these draft visits because Oregon had their pro day. The Niners were in attendance. So lots of things to talk about there. We're also going to have some fun, mock drafts, maybe play some games as well. There he is. He is back.
I've been here. I just use my special, as a filter. It's like a green screen effect. Yeah. Here, I just use my special. I don't even have my I don't have my nice shirt on or anything. I just have a typical black V-neck shirt on right now. I feel naked.
It's all right, man. Yeah. Let me know, guys, how the audio is too. I have been kind of playing around with it because I did get a new mic, so I'm still trying to figure out what the best.
He sounds like he's in a stadium, huh, guys? Sounds like he's in a hallway of some kind.
What up, Jason?
Jason host.
We have a good show. We got Jimmy. What up, 49ers throwback?
Jimmy G watches our show. That's cool.
Okay. No, it's not Jimmy G. Come on, stop it.
Could be Jimmy G.
No, he knows not. Come on. He's with the Rams. But anyways, we're gonna get kind of into some of the news that happened because we haven't talked since Kyle Juszczyk, excuse me, got
Kyle Juszczyk.
Weird. Yeah, it was a weird thing that happened there, and then the trade of Jordan Mason. I know both of us have done lives or videos on this stuff, but I think it'd be good to still kind of talk about it. So let's talk about Kyle Juszczyk. We kind of know, okay, they're probably gonna ask him to take a pay cut, right? He asking for a pay cut last year as well. He's like, okay, and then it kind of feels like maybe he won't take it, this year with him. But I think, it was weird because they released him, then they let him go and kind of see the market, and then they brought him back, which they still do take that dead cap hit because they brought him back. So it was kind of weird. But before I give my thoughts, what are your thoughts about that, Wolfie?
I have multitudes. I just tore apart that word. I have so many different kinds of opinions on this, so I'll try to keep it short the best I can. One, I feel like they wanted to get rid of him because in the back of my mind, this is just my opinion, but in the back of my mind, I feel like they wanted to go after Joey Bosa. And I think Jed York, with his cheapness right now, I'm willing to bet he gave Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch a budget and said, you can only use this much money at this period of time, and you cannot go this far out. And if you want more money, you need to make that space yourself. And I feel like that's the ultimatum he kind of gave John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. And I feel like by cutting him, they were able to save some money and then be able to possibly get Joey Bosa, especially, which kind of plays into the Floyd thing being cut as well. But obviously not getting him, they were like, okay, well, let's just get our guy back and then let's bring it back on the deal. Because I'm telling you what, it doesn't make sense to cut him and then re-sign him, even if you were to say, hey, go test out your market and then come back if you want to take a deal, because you still take the dead cap. And then you pay more. You might as well just kept him on the roster with that same exact money anyway. So there had to have been some sort of underlining thing that we aren't aware of, because I think Kyle Juszczyk said that the 49ers said, hey, go and check out your worth if you want, and then come back if you want to take our deal. So then why cut him? Why you can give him permission to seek a trade, right? Yeah. And then with that, not trade him, but hey, if you want to sign somewhere else, we'll release you, and then you can just sign with that person. So not necessarily trade him, but it allows you can go negotiate with somebody in the middle of a possible trade thing. So there's no rules being broken or anything like that. You could do that. There's ways you could do it without having to cut the guy while he can still go somewhere else to see if he wants to get his value. Because at the end of the day, that's all you wanted to see. It was hey, release you, go check out your value. Why? It doesn't make any sense. What I'm trying to say, just cutting him and resigning.
Yeah,
weird there. That that happened that we don't know about, where we're all guessing what happened, because that's like out of all the moves that happened with San Francisco 49ers, this one and signing Mac Jones is like all kind of like the two ones that I completely disagree with or I'm confused on. And so, and cutting Leonard Floyd, I guess, like in general, if I knew that if there's just things I wish I knew that would help me like have peace of mind. I want to know why they cut Leonard Floyd. I really honestly do. Like
I think it's the money thing though. And my thing with Juszczyk is I agreed, like we're actually gonna play a clip like before we get to the next topic, because Juszczyk was on, or at least it was posted today from the Sirius XM NFL radio show. So we're definitely gonna play that clip here in a bit, but it's kind of interesting because I agree with you here. Is why couldn't you just like be like, we're shopping Kyle Juszczyk, let him go see who has interest in him? Because they did. I get that Debo was a trade, but I feel like you could do the same thing, and then that way he knows what his market is, and then behind closed doors with those teams, you're like, we're not actually going to trade him. We're going to be releasing him. But that's only if he's going to sign with your team. We'll release him, and then, you can go sign him. But the thing is, they just outright released him, and now they still take that dead cap hit for bringing him back. So it's kind of weird that they did it like that. Where couldn't they just make him go kind of seek a trade and see his market without releasing him? I thought that was pretty weird. I mean, I know Brad from the SF Niners had tweeted a juice emoji out, and I kind of knew, okay, something's coming. Either he's going to sign with the team or he's coming back. And I feel like if he was coming back, like a Niners account may not be posting it, but it was. And then we see the whole thing, early in the morning. I think it was like 4 or 5 a.m. or something.
Yeah, it was pretty early, yeah.
Pretty early, yeah, where we see, he re-signed and took a little bit of a pay cut. So it was such a weird situation there, I think, with the whole Juszczyk thing. I'm okay that he's back, even though I would have preferred, like, okay, now that makes Kyle Shanahan actually changed the offense. But I mean, at least he took a pay cut.
Well, it's like
he
took a pay cut, but at the same time, it didn't help the 49ers because he still had that dead money. So it's like, he took a pay cut, but it's like, did he though? Like,
I mean, the Niners don't seem to be caring about dead cap. For him,
he got less money, but
yeah, I mean, the Niners, I don't think are caring too much about the dead cap, because if they really did, then I feel like they would have been kind of strategic about some of these moves. But it's like, clearly they're like, we're just trying to clean the books a little bit and get rid of these players. Now, I'm interested to see if Brandon Ayuk somehow is moved, because I think just based off of the things that have happened this year, wouldn't it make sense for Ayuk to be traded too, if you think about it?
I just don't see it. I mean,
I don't see it happening, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I guess I get on board with that. Like, I get on board with that. Like, I wouldn't be surprised either. But it would definitely have to be done before April 1st. That's definitely the
because that is the I believe option bonus.
Exactly.
So that's another guy to kind of watch for is George Odom, because we're gonna get to the next signing. But before we kind of get into Mason and that signing, let me pop up that Juszczyk little blip bit, because I think there's something very interesting that he mentioned, and what it makes a lot of sense to me, especially because it's coming from Juszczyk now. So
you got some juicy information.
Because I know some people are like, are the Niners really in cap constraints? So let me just pull it up real quick.
Onshul's got some juicy information.
Alrighty.
Some succulent information.
Hold up. Gotta pull that
some
up.
Moist information.
Sometimes they're a little juicy about. Ha ha ha.
One in the house.
Alrighty, here we go.
All right.
A couple days. It's funny you said it was a short stint that I was a free agent, but for me, I mean, it felt again like a lifetime. I had discussions with them throughout the off season that maybe it was a possibility that I was going to have to take a pay cut, or we're going to have to rework some things in my contract, but it was never anything definite. it was just something that they put on my radar and something that, I needed to be prepared for. And just as things went on, I just the optimist in me started telling myself that, man, I don't think we're going to have to do this. It's getting close to the actual free agency period. Haven't heard too much. Things are kind of looking good. But then, they finally, a couple days before that, were like, yeah, this is a real thing. The financial restrictions we're under are a real thing. And, they kind of put it in my court of whether, I wanted to be released or if we wanted to continue to try and negotiate a pay cut. But I think, like anybody, it's good to see what your market is. And so they gave me the opportunity to do that. And so me and my agent, went to work and, we had some interested teams and, we explored those possibilities because I feel like that's just fair to me and my family. You got to explore those possibilities, even if it's something that deep down maybe you don't want to do. We looked into it, and I think just to put it in the simplest terms, at the end of the day,
Is that it? Is that it?
All right, hold up. Let me try doing
There's
it
like
again. It
17
kind of
seconds.
cut out again.
Yeah,
You're muted.
that's Juice. Edward, that's
Oh.
Juice.
Okay, yeah, I guess that's kind of good enough. But basically, he said the cap restrictions are, for real. So
Yeah.
I know there's people saying, "Oh, are we really in this?" I mean, you heard it from Juice. So I guess it did kind of answer a question of why they released him because he asked for it. I think otherwise, maybe the Niners would have just done it that way or something. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was still kind of weird. What up, Maj? Appreciate
Maj
your support.
Sports.
Appreciate everybody in here as well. So, yeah, definitely interesting. But overall, like, how do you feel about actually Juice Check being back? Because I know we didn't really talk about
I
that.
absolutely love it, man. I mean, he's a great guy in the locker room. Like, let's talk about that first. Like, he's a great guy for the locker room, great guy for the rest of the team. Everyone loves him. He never has anything bad come out of him. He's great off the field, so he represents the team perfectly well. Not only that, I know a lot of people complain about him not getting the ball, like actually touching the ball and stuff like that, but he's a fullback. Like, his main job is to block. His main job is to be a leading blocker for the running back, and that's what he does really, really well. He's a very good short yardage, like giving the ball with 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, and he'll get those yards that you need him to get. Or 3rd and 2, and you do like a play action. He rolls out. He can get that ball if you need him to. Or he can open up the hole for you up the middle for your running back that you currently have, play action, whatever it may be. He was really important to the play action game. And I know we didn't do a lot this year. I think that's attributed to CMC not being there. So maybe Kyle Shanahan was a little afraid. And not to mention, we didn't really have a real blocking tight end to help out that play action. So maybe, again, that's probably why he was a little more hesitant to do the play action. But now with Luke Farrell out there and with Kyle Juszczyk, I feel like this year Kyle will be a lot more confident in using the play action pass. I love the fact that he's back. I think he's very beneficial to this offense. I get kind of irritated and I try to like let it go the best way I can when people complain that he doesn't touch the ball enough. And it's like, I understand that. I really honestly do, but there's only with George Kittle out there, Ayuk, the CMC touches the ball, everyone else. There's only one ball.
Ricky Pearsall,
and you're going to complain about the fullback not getting the ball. It's absolutely wild to me. So I try to like just let it go. I'm like, his main job is to block. Like, let's just relax a little bit. So I just try to. Go ahead. That's how I feel.
I was just gonna say is I think people kind of see as remember when Kittle a few years ago was just not getting the ball because it'd be like he was used as basically an offensive lineman. I think that's what people kind of see Juszczyk as, and they're like, really, we're using Juszczyk, and also not many teams you get the fullback, but I think he's so pivotal to this running game, and I'm okay that they are still paying him. What, it's 2 years? Okay, so what? I mean, it's a cheap contract too. It's nothing crazy in my eyes.
Was it like
and I mean the cap's gonna keep going up.
Yeah,
great locker room guy. The players like him. I don't think this was just George Kittle trying to push to bring him back. I mean, I'm sure obviously he had some kind of talk with John and Parag about it, but honestly, I'm fine with it. I was just more surprised because I'd never seen this happen. Where it's
Just
like,
some cut
he's
release
actually
sign
coming.
thing.
Yeah.
That's so
So
weird.
that
It really honestly
that
is.
was
Yeah.
just the weird part, but I'm okay that he's back.
Yeah.
So the next move that took place, and I think this was kind of shocking, even though there was rumors a few weeks ago, and I know I had discussed it at least on my channel. I don't know if it was with you, it might have been with Jason. But they traded Jordan Mason, man.
We talked about it, and then you didn't like it. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I
you're
was not a fan of that Jordan Mason signing, or I mean trade.
great.
Let's see.
East
So
Coast
it
ready to
was
go,
it.
Puckers.
What up?
Good shouts, people.
Just in the
Go
building.
ahead, sorry.
So no, you're good. So I think what was it? It was a 2026 sixth round pick, and then a pick swap in this year's draft.
Move up 27 spots from
I
97 to
absolutely
160.
hate pick swaps when it comes to trades because I'm like, bro, why am I trading you a player and we're swapping picks? Like even though we got a sixth round pick next year, to me it was kind of a little weird. I know people are saying, oh, we should have gotten more. I think part of it is if you look at this running back class, it's so deep. I mean, it goes to like the fifth, sixth round, even so. It is what it is. I mean, Jordan Mason, I think partially it was probably Mason wasn't going to sign that tender anyways. And they just wanted to get some value for him because otherwise he could have just gone and signed with another team and Niners don't get anything because he would have been an unrestricted free agent. So they had to do that before the new league year. And I just think, if you remember, I think it was week 1 even, right? It's like CMC's out. We all get shocked with the news that he's out, and we're like, why? Then we, later on learn, okay, it's the bilateral Achilles tendonitis. But like you remember, Jordan Mason's like head was down. He did not want to talk to the media, and I think part of it is he did not like Kyle Shanahan because it's like I'm doing all of this for you when CMC is out, and then you're putting this rookie and taking me out. When I'm
That's quite
doing
the
what
assumption, my man. That's quite the assumption.
I think it's a real thing though, because it's like he used to have these fumbling issues and he was fine this year, right?
Yeah,
so I
did
think
fumble in that red zone once.
Yeah, but I think he was definitely better than before, and so I think there it was kind of like okay. I think he just didn't want to come back. I think Kyle Shanahan was an issue for him.
When are you referencing when he got replaced by Grando?
Let's see, what game was that? Hold up, let me pull up the 49ers.
Was it later in the season when CMC came back?
Yeah, part of it too, because it was like, okay, CMC is back versus the Buffalo Bills, and it's like Kyle Shanahan should have split carries anyways because CMC's coming off an awful injury. So it's like Mason should have been getting some run, and then you put Garendo in at times.
He injured his shoulder, dude.
Yeah, but I don't think this is just back to this season, dude. I think he does not like Kyle Shanahan because it's like even the year before, he was averaging 5 to 6 yards a carry, and you're telling me to take this guy out when CMC is hurt? Like, come on, man.
But he was hurt. Mason was hurt. Mason injured his shoulder.
But I'm saying when he was healthy.
He wasn't taking. He was taking. Oh, I agree with the CMC, like taking him out when CMC was in there. But when he came back to take over, that's supposed to be more Mason's time. And he had that one big run. Remember, he had like 69 yards, something like that. And then he injured his shoulder and couldn't come back in, and Mason had to come into play. So I understand. I understand that, but like he got hurt, so he couldn't play. So it's not like Mason was Grendo was chosen over Mason. It was just that he wasn't available.
Yeah, but I also think it's again going back to the year before because it's like, come on, Mason was good and you didn't even try to put him in the playoffs because every time Niners, that's why Niners fans
was healthy.
No, but still, dude, because the thing is, it's not like you're putting Mason out there and he's the exact same as CMC. Nobody's the exact as CMC. And so what Jordan Mason does is changes the pace. He's a power type, tough runner. And our fan base was like, why is this guy not getting more run even if you're just giving him sprinkles. Because if you look at Andy Reid, for example, he would put Isaiah Pacheco in, and then he'd also give what's his name? Kareem Hunt, right?
The vet,
Kareem Hunt,
the vet guy.
Exactly.
He's a vet though.
Yeah, I don't care if he's a vet. If your guy is showing what he needs to do, and he's averaging 5 to 6 yards a carry, you're telling me he deserves to be.
2023.
He was still averaging close to 5 yards a carry. It probably was like 4 yards a carry, if anything. It's like, to me, that's a Kyle issue, and I think that's what Mason was seeing too. Is I don't get to be a running back 2 here because now you have Isaac Guerrero here too. So I think that's why Mason was like, okay, I respect you putting me through that tender, but I want to be traded. Because with Minnesota, you have Aaron Jones and then literally kind of nobody else. So I think that was a great trade for Minnesota case. So Niners are definitely going to be taking a running back. And I'm going to just prepare you all. Watch out for a third-round running back. Probably going to happen.
So my turn to talk about Jordan Mason. Okay. All right. This is one thing we're on opposite spectrums, obviously, especially considering the conversation we had when I was in my live and you're in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we all know that Jordan Mason. There's a reason why in the 2024 offseason, Jordan Mason was working on his hands because he wasn't very good at catching the ball, right? And Kyle Shanahan's offense requires the running back to catch the ball
and
block. And that's two things that Jordan Mason couldn't do in 2023. He couldn't do the blocking thing in 2024 either. Isaac Guerrero, however, could do the pass catching thing in 2024. So there's probably a reason why he didn't get that trust in 2023 is because he couldn't do all the things that Kyle wanted him to do in that offense, especially in play action, et cetera, when CMC is like the only guy on the running back room that can actually do it. And Elijah Mitchell probably could, but he was hurt and injured, so he was out. Now in 2024, however, he got his opportunity and he was playing really great. And every time with CMC out, he got the opportunity. I do agree that Jordan Mason was the hot hand. You got to keep playing him. But Jordan Mason did not get Jordan Mason got the second team reps. Like he got the second running back reps throughout all the entire period until he got hurt. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't until he got hurt and he was out for the rest of the year and Isaac Guerrero had to take over and then he got hurt. And the only thing we had left was Patrick Taylor and Isaac and
Israel Abanikanda,
Yeah. So I understand that like the CMC part, him getting taken out for CMC and then just forcing the issue with CMC, that was kind of weird. I agree with that. But if Jordan Mason came back and he was as good as he was, I think that he would have kept playing. I don't think Kyle Shanahan would have took him out and been like, okay, let me just take this guy who's 5-6 yards a carry, who's not costing me wins. Well, he had like that one bad fumble in the red zone that one time, so I'm not gonna hold that against him. But he was still someone he relied on, but it wasn't until he got hurt and he couldn't play anymore because of that shoulder injury that he couldn't play. But as for the trade itself, I'm happy with it because at the end of the day, Jordan Mason was just going to be the third running back on this depth chart, like realistically speaking, right? He was just going to be the third guy. And I'm not saying this to you, I'm just saying this general. I don't think we should be up in arms about a third depth chart running back and being super upset about that, especially when
I think it's just we deal with so many injuries with the running back position. That's like mainly my reasoning for it is like, look at how many damn running backs we get to. And I totally get where Jordan Mason's coming from because I think obviously he knew, like I said.
But why would you want to keep an injury-prone running back? If you're saying that we do get injured with Grendo.
Okay, so you're saying just because Mason got hurt for 1 year, he's injury-prone? No.
Well, then but you just said that about Grendo, though, because you just said that he gets hurt.
No, I didn't.
You just said that we constantly get hurt all the time in the running back situation. So
yeah, so we need the depth. No, so I'm saying we need the depth.
So but I'm saying, okay, so wouldn't you want a more
But I'm not saying that they're injury-prone.
Okay. But wouldn't you want a guy who's younger, cheaper?
Dude, Mason's not that old, though.
Third on the running back chart. Third on the running back chart, right? And you don't know yet if he's actually going to be that guy who can last the entire season. While Mason has proven in that 1 year that he couldn't. So you might as well, as your third running back, the guy you need to rely on, when you needed to rely on him, he got hurt.
But that's what I'm saying. You can't just say one season is, he's an injury-prone player. It's not how it works.
Okay,
If it was
take away
like,
the
okay,
injury-prone-
he's getting
take away the
hurt like
injury-prone
2 to
thing.
3 seasons, I'm
but
like,
he
okay.
got hurt. He got hurt regardless. When you relied on him the most, when you needed when you needed him the most, when CMC was out and you needed him the most, he got hurt and your depth was no longer there. You had no more depth because he got hurt. So wouldn't you want, if you're stuck with Garendo and you're stuck with CMC and you have a way out with your third guy who you try to rely upon the most, and he got hurt, wouldn't you try to find someone else that you could rely upon instead?
But Garendo got hurt too.
That's what I'm saying.
So in your logic, you're saying to replace both then?
No. I'm saying if you had to pick out of the three and you had to move on from one of them to be reliable, you're not going to cut Garendo after you just drafted him. You're not going to cut CMC after you just signed him to a restructured contract. But you have an out with Mason, and you can get a draft pick, and it wouldn't hurt your cap. And it's your third running back on the depth chart. We're not talking about your number one here.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think from the
class.
Niners. Okay, I get it from the Mason side. It's like he wants to be a running back too, and I think that's basically what happened. But when I mean the Niners side, Mason should have been on this team. Obviously, we don't know what's behind closed doors, so I'm saying maybe it was Mason. Like, okay, maybe it's like, okay, John Lynch says, Mason, we are gonna put that tender on you, but we understand that you want to be a running back too, so we'll honor your like trade request. But again, we're not gonna just let you go because we want to at least get something for you, and that's what the Niners did, I think. But
that's another thing. You're also.
I think the Niners would have kept him if they hadn't been forced to get rid of him. Like, I really do, dude.
I think we'll have to agree to disagree, man. I think this is the perfect opportunity to move on from Mason. And I think you'd be doing Mason more of a solid by making sure he goes somewhere where he can actually be the second running back and thrive a lot more with more opportunities.
Yeah.
I just think that in this deep running back class, man, this was the perfect opportunity. Like for example, there's a guy in this draft. You can go check it, go look at it. All right. And you could say, but I'm telling you, he is Kyle Monangi or whatever his name is from Rutgers. He's Jordan Mason with no fumbles. He had 0 fumbles. He's never fumbled once in his career. He has the exact same 40 pretty much. He has a 4.6 40 while Mason had a 4.58. They're practically the same. But it's kind of like this is what the 49ers do, man. They have their main running back. They have their main guy. And then they interchange running backs constantly. And it was just Jordan Mason's time to be interchanged. They did it with Breida, like Strawberry said. They did it with Mostert. This is what they do. They change running backs, interchange them. We love Mostert. We loved all these running backs, but it's just time for them to go. And I think in a deep running back class, I think you can replace your third depth.
Exactly, George. I'm agree with him right here. Dude, we need way more defensive linemen and offensive linemen over a damn running back.
So your concern is going to be a third round running back. That is your concern.
Yes.
Because I think drafting a running back with a 5th, 6th, or 7th or undrafted pick situation is just fine.
Yeah, but how am I supposed to believe that based on what the Niners have done? Because the thing is,
what do you mean they've done that?
Because Joe Williams, bro, back in the day, they took him in the second or third round.
Time? I know, but
let me finish. Then you had Terrion Davis-Price, third round running back.
It's 2.
And this was a draft when literally you didn't have like top round picks, right? That was the year they also drafted like Danny Gray and stuff, right? Then you go out and get Trey Sermon in the third round? Yeah, third round too. Why am I supposed to trust this front office when they've finally done it one time where in the 4th round they took Garendo and that worked out, and everybody else that they've drafted before then has been a bust and not a scheme fit with this team? How am I supposed to trust John Lynch? And it's probably Kyle Shanahan more, honestly. How am I supposed to trust Kyle Shanahan when he keeps drafting?
Are you telling me in the 3 years, in the 7 years that Kyle Shanahan, 7, 8 years he's been in here, 3 running backs that he's drafted in the 3rd round hasn't worked out, but he's got Isaac Garendo, Matt Breida, Jordan Mason. Who else he's got out there? I keep forgetting his name. There's another guy there. There's
Oh,
also
Jeff
Elijah
Wilson
Mitchell,
Jr.
Joseph Wilson Jills. All those guys, he's gotten the 5th, 6th, 7th, or whatever round it may be. And then you got Garendo there. So he has hit more than he's missed on running backs. I understand the concern in 3rd round where like you got some guys that just didn't work out.
No.
I understand that. But he has hit on a lot of the running backs. There's literally a I'm not stigma because that's supposed to be a bad thing, but there's literally, oh my God, you could plug any running back into the 49ers and Kyle Shanahan's offense and they work out and they're amazing. Right? So if that's the thing that people say, then guess what? That's definitely what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Cody Schrader was an undrafted free agent.
And he sucked. And I told you guys, literally, he was
and guess
not
what?
going to
We were fine, though, because we had Jordan Mason. He kept him around because he worked out. And then he had, I can't remember at the time. I don't remember the running back. But he had all those running backs, and it all worked out. You still had Isaac Garendo. You still had other running backs that's ready to go. Kyle Shanahan has been more successful at finding running backs than he has been unsuccessful. This isn't like first-round draft picks where he's been unsuccessful and stuff like that. Then that's something you can complain about. But I trust this team to find a running back in the 5th, 6th, 7th round. If they were to use one in the 3rd round this year, this would be. I know you don't trust it because those running backs he drafted did not fit the scheme. I totally agree with that. I understand 10%. This would be the year to do it because it's so stacked. Yeah. You got so many options that we all love. Like you love Scatabo, I love Scatabo, right? You like I like Ollie Gordon. If we got him in the 4th
I like Caleb Johnson. I think it is from Iowa.
Would you back that if he got him in the 3rd round?
That would be a reach.
But he's projected to go in the 3rd round. He's projected to go in the 3rd.
Is he?
Yeah, he's supposed to be a 3rd round running back. This running back's deep. I'm telling you, it's like that. You go check. I'm telling you, he's supposed to be a late 3rd, possibly early 4th round running back.
Let me see.
He is that type of guy. I'm saying if there's a time.
Yeah, okay. They have him as like 60s.
But here's the thing. I don't want them to do that, though. I don't want them to draft a running back in the 3rd round. But I'm saying if they did it, I would be less like upset compared to the other times, like you said, where like you couldn't afford to get Trey Sermon or Ty Davis Price at the time. That was terrible. You should have done the undrafted thing, 7th round pick thing. That probably would have been a better time. And I think this year they should do the same thing, especially with a deep running back class. If they did in the 3rd round, it's a better opportunity. But there's also a better opportunity to get one in the 5th, 6th, and 7th round. That's good. So I think they should still do that. And I think this is a great opportunity to move on from Mason, get a 5th round pick that's closer instead of 187, where you can get a guy who's probably going to benefit the team better, especially considering they're really good in 5th rounds. And then with the 3 or 4 7th round picks that we got, get a running back there because that's how we constantly find those guys. So I think so. Yeah, I don't think we should get one in the 3rd round, but if they were to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it's going to be late. We'll see what ends up happening.
But yeah, you and I definitely disagree on the Jordan Mason thing. I love Jordan Mason. I want to throw that out there. I like Jordan Mason. He's given me some great times and stuff. But I'm trying. If I was a GM and I'm thinking about the opportunity when to move on from him, I think this is the perfect time, in my opinion, to move on from a guy like that. Because I like Dylan Sampson, like Strawberry said. I think he's really good too. He's great in the passing game. He's
is that the North Carolina?
No, that's Omarion Hampton. He's supposed to go like in the 2nd round, but Dylan Sampson's from Tennessee. He's like 190. He's kind of light, but he's very good in the pass.
Yeah, I mean, there's Judkins, Henderson, Devin Neal.
There's so many running backs, dude. It's insane. And I think we get one in the 5th. Maybe use that 160th on a good running back if you could. If not, get one in the 7th like you always do. And then get one undrafted like you always do. I'm not concerned about that at all. Joe Boyd is like so upset, man.
Joe. Okay, I will agree with you when it comes to offensive line and trenches, but there is no way that Kyle Shanahan is that stupid and idiotic to where they're not going to draft probably a defensive line. Because look who is on this team right now at defensive tackle. You have Jordan Elliott, Kevin Givens, Evan Anderson. Gross Matos can go inside at times. But
McGlinchey at the time was considered a first round tackle, so you can't really blame him for that. I don't know why that's bad, but there are a lot of tickets. You miss him or whatever, but yes, I think Joe is just really jaded right now. He's just really
exactly.
smart.
When they care about the defensive line, we shouldn't act like they don't. I agree. I get that people don't want. Okay, the thing is, offensive line. I think partially it's also Chris Forrester, but I don't even want to get to that discussion really today.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be just fine. I think they obviously know what their problem is.
Mhm.
Like I'm super confident they know that D tackle is their biggest.
I mean,
problem.
that's why they let go of these guys too, because they have a plan. So
Yeah, there's no way. Like, if you want to be cynical about it, or you want to be upset, or like jaded about it because all the things that are happening, and things of that nature, like you could say we're going to draft a corner, then a wide receiver, and then a running back in the third and stuff like that. But I don't think that's the case. I feel like that's just being cynical. I think that's just being a little upset that we have such a mass exodus of players. I think that's just what it is.
Yeah.
That's coming from that. I don't think it's. We got to have a little more faith, look more positive, and you may not like what these guys do, all the decisions they make, but they're not always going to make a decision that you like. They're not always going to make a decision that I like. You need to compromise. Like last year, they prepared themselves for something like this, where the draft is now filled with D linemen, right, and the guard that they're missing, right.
Yeah.
Last year, they got Pearsall, who's worked out, which allows us to move on from Debo. We moved on from Ward because now we got Green, which is good.
Yeah.
Right. Move on from Hufanga. Guess what? We now have Mustafa. They tried hitting on linebacker. That just didn't work out. Right. With Bethune being there. And then hopefully, but they wanted D Winters.
And even like D Winners. Yeah.
Yeah. So they tried there in the linebackers, but everywhere else they succeeded at and they prepared for. So I don't think they're as dumb and as
exactly
as we think they are, just because they don't do something that we want them to do or expect them to do,
because they obviously knew what this class was going to be like, to where it's like, okay, we're going to strictly focus on it in this draft. And dude, next year they're going to have a lot of picks, because that's why they're not spending that much money, because none really, they didn't spend a crazy amount to where it's going to cancel out. So they'll be fine too. To answer this question from Juan, do you guys think Evan Anderson could be a quality starter? No, I think he's going to be a rotational guy. He's a good run stopping guy, and he'll continue to work on his pass rush, and I'm sure that's going to help with Sala and stuff. But no, they definitely need to.
I mean, he could blossom into that, but I'm not going to hold out.
If it was quality depth piece, yes, but a starter, no, I don't think so. That'd be pretty. What up, Dre Area Sports in the chat?
Sports. I think Kevin Givens and Evan Anderson are good depth pieces. I don't think they're phenomenal, but I do think they're good depth. But I don't think they're quality number 2 kind of type depth. But I do believe that this team understands this is the draft for D tackles and things of that nature. So when they got Kinlaw, I understand why they did that, because they needed draft a need, and Kinlaw was supposed to be the second coming of Buckner, and that just didn't work out. And that draft didn't have a shit ton of D tackles, if I remember correctly. Thomas at the time was super hyped, and he was supposed to be a guy that he was supposed to go top 10 for sure, top 5, I think. He was supposed to be that good, and he just didn't work out. Yeah. And he missed there. And that would have been someone else who picked top 5, because he was going to go top 5 regardless.
Also, the thing is, the Niners actually, okay, so it's been Kinlaw, Thomas, Kalia Davis, let's see, who's Robert Beal Jr., Drake Jackson. Am I missing anyone else that they've drafted at the D line, Wolfie?
I think it's that's a good chunk of it, I think. That's a good chunk. Maybe 1 or 2 you're missing. That's about it.
Yeah, and so all of those guys, other than Kinlaw and Solomon Thomas and Drake Jackson, have been later round guys. They've been going through free agency, and that has not worked out. They gave Jalen Hargrave, moved off of him because he wasn't great. They traded for Malik Collins, moved off of him because he started kind of not doing as good. So I think the only solution is they're going to have to now start going early on this draft. And this draft is so stacked at defensive line. This is the best defensive line class in a very long time. So
if you were to cut your losses with the free agents that haven't worked out after
Mhm.
drafting D tackles and DNs and they haven't worked out, and you signed Hargrave, Collins, and all these other guys hoping they work out and they didn't.
Mhm.
This would be the draft to be like, okay, let's get rid of those free agents that are bad and try to nail the draft here because you have a very higher chance of nailing it compared to any other out of all of Kyle Shanahan's era. This draft class is so stacked with D tackles. People are raving it as like the most D tackle DN draft of all time.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think this is the perfect opportunity to go young, get guys that you know could start day one in the third round, potentially even the fourth round.
Yeah.
Like it's that deep in D tackle and DN. That I
Mhm.
think this now is the time to address that. And you don't want them to keep going after free agents, especially in a poor free agent class. And
Yeah, exactly. It
that's
was
not
just
gonna
it
work
was
out.
bad defense. And the thing is, I think they're not going to stay at 11. I think they're going to have multiple options, and I think I could see them dropping down. I'm not even kidding, all the way to like the 20th pick because like they could probably get a. No one's going to give them a second round pick or like the first one next, obviously, but like they could probably get a third, like a fourth. I don't know
You
what else.
probably get a couple threes if they continue to come back
Yeah.
a little bit. Like they could probably do that. And I think that's something they should do because there's a sweet spot here there in that third round.
Yeah,
like
this
the
class
third,
is
fourth.
so deep with again defensive line to where it's like you have 11 picks, but you need more than 11 players, in my opinion. Where like 13, I wouldn't be mad if they drafted 13 rookies, and then next year they're probably gonna have 10, 11.
Well, they
picks
they have
as
the
well.
spots for it right now, so I guess they
Yeah.
could afford to do something like that. But the one thing Joe Boyd's doing that I don't like what's happening right now is so he says, "Do not trade IU given away for a fourth round pick is stupid." You're creating a scenario that's never happened or a scenario that's not even been brought up. Like no one's saying, "Hey, trade him for a fourth rounder."
I
Yeah,
know
like,
there's
no
been
rumor like that.
reports about today of Brandon Ayuk rumors again, but I looked like it's nothing really real. I think it's a lot of
It's just
speculation.
people saying my opinion kind of type thing. Like I
Yeah,
think
so
this would be a good.
I'm
I
not even
predict
gonna.
this. Yeah,
Yeah.
we like. I understand that like you're panicking, Joe. I get that, but we cannot like jump into what if territories and like
Yeah.
make up scenarios in our head. So that
The
way,
only what if we're doing is the draft because that's what the draft is, you know.
yeah,
So like that's where we're gonna talk about that. But yeah, and then the last kind of news that broke, which was last night actually. So they signed another special teams player in what was his name? It was in Syria Neal. Now I know the guy that reported originally said it was a 2-year deal, but when the Niners actually officially announced it's a 1-year deal, you know, he's another special teams ace guy. He has played some like DB, you know, in the slot and like blitzing packages and stuff, but he's gonna be a special teams guy, kind of one of those like gunner type guys. So I'm honestly fine with this move. I think that's what they're doing in free agency. We just have to, they're going after special teams guys. Brant Boyer's really trying to shape this up. So I like that. And I totally forgot. I don't think we talked about this. So we'll actually get into it once I kind of hear your thoughts about this guy. But I think this is, again, it's not your flashy type of signing, but I am glad that they're putting a heavy emphasis on special teams because I said this even in my video yesterday. I felt like over the years, and I'm not, this is kind of from a fan perspective because I'd be kind of shocked if that's how Kyle viewed it. But the fact that it kind of felt like they were just trying to play special teams to where they hope they don't mess up, but they were messing up to where now it's like they want to have special teams be part of the reason why they're winning games to where now they're a good team, all three phases of the game, offense, defense, and special teams. So I'm fine with this. And I mean, Brant Boyer's obviously very well respected. He went through multiple regimes with the New York Jets. And the one, I know the Jets get a lot of slack, but the one unit that was always pretty damn good was special teams. So.
So if we're just talking about the Syrian guy first, then I love it. I mean, he's an ace, helps out our special teams entirely. Doesn't cost us a lot of money. We got it for 2 years. Brant Boyer loves him.
1 year.
1 year, and Brant Boyer, I'm assuming the Jets didn't have much control or much say in his. I'm sure he did, but I mean, it sounds to me like based on these signings from special teams,
Mhm.
these are players that, with his expertise and who he's turned into like awesome players, he knows what he wants and what he's looking for.
Yeah, it's like we
And I
need
think-
special teams guys. We're giving you this much money. You go out and figure out who do we need in this.
Yeah, so I think Syrian probably fits that role as a gunner. The only thing we haven't figured out yet is who's going to be the kick returner.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the only
like
thing.
is he
But
gonna rely
Syrian's
on Cowing or like Garendo?
someone in the drafts.
Yeah, so that's gonna be the interesting part. Now the other news, which is I think super shocking, and it's everybody's like, yeah, nobody's safe on this team, and that is releasing long snapper Tabor Pepper for a 39-year-old. I mean, I know Tabor Pepper tweets a lot and stuff, and it's like he kind of felt that he was safe, but it's kind of shocking. But I'm like, I kind of like this rehaul of special teams, though. I'm glad they're making these changes.
I absolutely love it. I think I like Taylor Pepper for the most part. He did defend his kicker when his kicker was about to get his ass beat. So I do like the fact that he was there to defend his team and stuff. And he wasn't a bad guy or anything like that. So I do like him for that. But if Brant Boyer thinks that Weeks is a better long snapper than he is, and it'll help out Jake Moody or whoever a kicker turns out to be.
Because I'm sure he watched the film too. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he knows what he's doing, and I think that he's going to find a guy who's going to be better. And I think he probably thinks that Weeks is better and that Taylor Pepper is not actually that good of a long snapper compared to who Weeks is. So yeah, I love this mass overhaul of special teams. I really honestly do. I love the fact that this is something that has been addressed. I love that this is something that's constantly being like, I understand there's like other players I wouldn't mind getting like a Drew Dahlman or something like that would be nice. But on the bright side, like if you want to be happy about something that us as 49ers fans have been bitching for the past 2 years is special teams. And this has been a mass exodus of special teams and has been fixed with players who are proven special team aces. All of them.
I mean, the linebacker that they signed, Richie Grant,
Pinnock, heck, even Luke Farrell is supposed to be a really good special teams guy. So they got nothing but, from what I've researched, people have bragged about how good they are in special teams. So the only thing they have yet to fix when it comes to special teams right now, the two things that they haven't gotten, that's three things. We don't know if Wisnowski's coming back, so we don't know who's holding the ball because apparently
holding the ball
super important. The kicker, and then the punt return. So there's three questions still left with special teams. But if you're talking about from a gunner standpoint, if you're talking from a defensive standpoint, you got guys who are fantastic in that aspect.
What up, Jake?
Now, when it comes to the kicker, real quick, since we're talking about special teams, they are looking at kickers. Like there's reports of them interviewing kickers. There's reports of them looking at kickers.
I mean, John Lynch did say that they'd bring in some.
So I understand that Jake Moody's on the roster, but people need to calm down. Like just because he's on the roster doesn't mean he's going to be the kicker. Like I think he should be on the roster until we find the replacement.
It's also roster politics where he's a third-round pick, and I've said this before. Why would you trade or get rid of Moody? Okay, let's say they bring in two kickers, and right now, there aren't that many great kickers, I think, really out there. But maybe they bring in a veteran and undrafted kid or something. But anyways,
Nick something is out there from Tennessee. Was good.
He's old though. But yeah, anyways. So my point is, okay, let's say you bring in two kickers, right? And then let's say that none of them beat out Jake Moody. And now you have Jake Moody, who you just cut even before you signed or, whatever, traded, got one of these two guys. And so then you're back to phase A where you're going to have to go find a new kicker because a team's still going to go take on Jake Moody. Like maybe he just needs a fresh start or something. So that's why they're like, okay, we'll pick him up, right? And so then you're back to phase A to where you don't have a kicker now because those other two guys you brought in were not good. So then what are you going to do? And so that's why you have to just keep Jake Moody on the roster. And it's not like we're at 53 man right now because you have to get to 90 and they still have a lot of spots they can fill out there. So
exactly,
people need to calm down, like you said.
There's just there's a lot of you said it right on the nail. It's just kind of like this is just like I said, roster politics. This is not something that we should be taking to heart just because Jake Moody's still on the team. Like, I mean, it really could be a Steve Wilkes thing because guess what? People were bitching and complaining about Steve Wilkes being on the roster, being on the team. We got someone worse in the end, and it got worse. And then everyone was like, "Well, you know what? Maybe we should have kept Steve Wilkes." Maybe it's the same thing with Jake Moody. Turns out Jake Moody is like the best available one we can get, and we're stuck with him. So you want to make sure you got a guy who's better than Jake Moody before you move off of Jake Moody, because he didn't have the best year last year, but he also had a okay, if not good year the year before that.
I mean, he was fine before he got hurt, you know.
And then fine before he got hurt. So there are things to consider instead of just being like cut him because he's going to be worse than absolutely anyone we possibly pick up. That's not true. There can be worse kickers out there.
Yeah, I mean, exactly like what Joe says. That is not a good winning strategy. Just give players away. Exactly.
Yeah, you need to make sure you have that replacement.
Jason says, "Why does Ancho sound like he's staying down from wall? Holla, did I die?" Is Ancho? Yeah, let me know, guys, how my mic.
You got an echo. I'm telling you, it's like I keep telling you, you're in a hallway. You're in like some sort of. It sounds like you're in a church lobby. Okay.
There's an echo.
It's not an echo. It's like think of you being in an empty hallway, and as you're talking, it like creates like an amplified sound.
Up on my phone real quick.
It sounds like you're in a bathroom. That's a good one right there. Yeah, it sounds like you're in a public bathroom that's empty. And there's no toilets, there's no stalls, there's nothing. Or ballroom, that's a good one right there. That's a good one. No, Joe, I like John Lynch. I like the way he drafts. We got great players last year. I think we got nothing but all pros and shit. I disagree with that. All subway tile. Was talking down from Edmund. I've come, my son, to tell you the news about San Francisco 49ers.
There, hold up. I think because I went on my live, it sounds fine at times, and then I guess it kind of just keeps. Oh.
Yeah.
Look, I'm gonna keep it on this.
Let me
see how it does.
Where's Gordon house? Jake in the house. While you figure that out, I'm giving everyone shout outs. Jason in the house. Val in the house. Be sure to hit that like button if you haven't hit the like button already. I really appreciate it.
Oh no, just Dre. I got like a new mic, so I'm just been trying to play with the settings, but it's kind of hard because it's that's why I've been asking.
I'm trying to tell you, man. It sounds like you're in
So crazy juice. Okay.
Crazy juice. That could mean so many different things. And absolutely hilarious. All right. So I would say when we're talking about special teams, I love what they're doing here. I think Brant Boyer is putting together quite a special teams situation here. Now, with that being said, though, if Brant Boyer is really taking control of the special team situation, I'm sure he's in charge of finding the new kicker if he actually ends up like Jake Moody. And I'm not saying I want to keep Jake Moody, but if we end up keeping Jake Moody, I'm going to kind of trust Brant Boyer here just because he has that reputation of being trustworthy and someone that knows what's wrong with special teams. And from what I gather, Brian Schneider is the reason why we got Jake Moody, from what I gather.
Yeah.
I could have sworn I heard a couple of things where he's the one, I could have sworn he's the one that worked him out and said, hey, he's good, stuff like that. So I trust Brant Boyer to know what he's doing more so than Brian Schneider in finding a kicker. So if he trusts Jake Moody, I know a lot of people are going to be upset about that, but if he turns out to be good, guess what? Everyone's going to be eating crow. So I'm going to trust Brant Boyer in his decisions, and I like everything he's doing with the special teams. If special teams is terrible, then guess what? I will be like, okay, Brant Boyer is trash. But that's a product of him, though, right? He's showing you what he can do. So we'll see. He has the resume to trust him, and I trust Brant Boyer. I'm going to do that. Just like Robert Saleh with the defense. I'm going to trust him with the defense. I think the defensive players we drafted are going to be players that Robert Saleh recommends. I don't think they're going to be players that just John Lynch, Kyle and then be like, well, you figure it out, Robert Saleh. I don't think that's the case. I think Robert Saleh, if we draft a defensive player, it's going to be, hey, what do you like? Who do you like? We'll get him. Does he fit your scheme? We'll go get him.
Yeah. Do you feel like you are going to be able to work well with him? Things like that.
So if you don't trust these defensive players, if you don't trust the strategy they have right now in the draft, then you're not trusting Robert Saleh. And if you don't trust Robert Saleh, then I say you're crazy and you don't know enough about Robert Saleh.
And I see Joe Boyd saying, "Oh, they panic in the draft here." Come on, man. It's a crapshoot.
You're not always gonna. Yeah.
Even players who have the best traits don't work out sometimes. So
Solomon Thomas.
A lot of it is like
stud.
coaching, the system. Sometimes players who are like on a bad team may just be kind of unmotivated or just don't get as much playing time. So it's like there's gonna be issues with that. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I trust Brant Boyer, Robert Saleh as well. So speaking of the draft, though, the Oregon Ducks had their pro day today. John Lynch was in attendance, and they had, I believe it was 8 scouts in attendance. I feel like they probably have some interest, and I mean, there's quite a bit of players that I think we both like. I'm sure
it's
people
diversion
in the chat like too. So, you had Derek Harmon, who I know we kind of mocked when we were doing our long streams last week with like Jason as well. Just absolute big. He's huge. I mean, good at stopping the run. Like even for his size, he's able to move fairly well. So, like, I wouldn't be mad if the Niners are like, okay, we're trading down from 11, and at like 20, or we trade down again, and we're like able to get him. I wouldn't be mad, at a guy like Harmon.
Yeah, I think Harmon is like he's just your typical prototypical 6'4", I believe, or 6'5", somewhere between their reports. Type D tackle. He can bend the line really well. He controls the line. He can handle double teams while someone can feast like Nick Bosa or possibly the rookie or another D tackle we got for like a 1-on-1. So if you got like Derek Harmon, and if you want to hear, Walter Nolan's been falling out of drafts as of late. He's been falling down in drafts as of late. If you can get him in the 40-30, and I know Walter Nolan, he's a good 1-on-1 D tackle. So if you have like Derek Harmon eating up 2 guys, and then you have another D tackle who can handle 1-on-1s, you got yourself quite the pass rush right there. And that's what Derek Harmon's job. I'm not expecting him to get sacks. That's not his job. Yeah. That's not something I'm asking him to do. But I'm gonna expect him to stop the run, bend the line, control the line, take up 2 guys, and then have that 1-on-1.
Yeah, just like help eat the spaces. Because remember, defensive tackles especially, they're not gonna be getting. You don't like really expect them to get these crazy amount of sacks. Like obviously it's a bonus if they are, but the point is you just need to get Bosa some help, and you need guys who are going to be able to stop the run and be able to kind of help with some of these mobile quarterbacks, because you do have Kyler Murray in your division, even a guy like Sam Murray. All right, whatever. And then you also have Kyler Murray, and then you also have Sam Darnold. He can move too. So I just think where the league's at, but I think he'd be a fine pick. You have the defensive tackle Josh Conerly Jr., probably more of a second round guy. I don't know too much about him, so do you know much about him?
He wasn't very good at the Senior Bowl. He's the one that got pushed back by Mike Green, that one that made Mike Green famous, and he's the one that got pushed back. I don't know if it's because of that. For some reason, I have like a little disdain towards him, and I don't trust him or whatever. It's because of that, but I'm not entirely sold on Conerly personally. I mean, if he works out and the 49ers trust him to be that right tackle and he can do it, then sure. But personally, I'm not the biggest Conerly guy. But obviously, if they're there right now, 8 scouts there with John Lynch, then they're obviously going to do their due diligence and know more about him than I would based on film. So if they end up drafting him in the 2nd round, then obviously he's probably going to be a day 1 starter. I can't imagine like he's going to be somebody of, a depth piece behind McKivitz. That's just not going to happen, especially in the 2nd round if you really use that on Conerly. But I like Conerly. I like the idea of Conerly, but because he's a tackle, but I don't want him, to be honest with you. It's not something I'm excited about. Jordan Birch, the pass rusher, that's also Oregon as well, next to Derek Harmon. A lot of people like him. I have not watched his tape yet. I have not evaluated him yet, so I don't know enough about him. But I love the fact that they're over there with Tyler Ferguson too. Was his name?
Yeah, the tight end. I like him too.
Yeah. Are you
Then
going through players? I don't want to keep jumping through players.
yeah, no, it's okay. You kind of jumped right where the list was at, so that's fine.
Oh, okay. I know
yeah.
I know there's the 4 players, which is Connerly, Ferguson, Harmon, and then Birch. There's 4 guys there.
Yeah, no,
So
Birch is I think good too.
Yeah, all those players are from first round all the way up to early 4th round type players. So it's not like they're wasting their time with these type players because they are technically of need. Like you kind of technically need a right tackle, which is fine. You do need a D tackle, you need a D end. And the tight end situation, Ferguson in the 4th round, early 4th. I know you got Luke Farrell, but George Kittle's getting older. You need to find a replacement.
You still need a tight end.
So if you like Tyler Ferguson, you get him early in the 4th, and you think that he could replace George Kittle in the future, guess what? That's a great pick. So I like the fact they're doing their due diligence here. I love the fact that John Lynch himself is there, and he has, I guess, him and 7 other scouts. There's supposed to be 8 people there, counting him, right?
Yeah,
that's what it is. So he has 7 other scouts with him as well, so they're helping evaluating. That is unprecedented. That's what people say. That's what people are saying right now, and I wonder if they're going to do this with other schools as well. Like, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they're going to have at least some scouts, even if John Lynch doesn't go to all these pro days. But those are, the pro days because you get to actually see them one-on-one. And you're like focusing on that school too. And so like you're able to, focus on kind of those guys. And that also helps them figure out, okay, who are the top 30 visits we want to bring in? Let me remind you guys this. Top 30 visits aren't, oh, these are the top 30 players on their board. No, it's they get to have 30 players from this draft class come to Levi Stadium and go through drills, give them a physical, evaluate these players. That's why you had a guy like Jake Moody when they drafted him. He had kind of, that one-on-one type of workout. So definitely, top 30 visits are something to watch for, and hopefully that list starts dropping fairly soon, which I think it would, right? Because the draft's a little bit over a month away now, so that's where I'm going to be paying attention to. But yeah, I mean, again, these pro days are super important again too, because they get to see these guys, one-on-one. So
I know that if you have this guy, the 30-day thing, and you're going there, and you're also going to visit him at a college, I think they're actually taking all the Oregon players seriously. Like I think they actually like all these Oregon players. I think.
I mean, some of it's also they're trying to like
kill to not be like, to just kind of be there and be like, let's evaluate all these players. It sounds to me that they're like, okay, we like Oregon guys specifically. Why is that? Let's go check it out.
I also think some of it is they sometimes like to tip off, like trick other teams to think that they're really high on this stuff. Because sometimes we hear, oh, the Niners met with this guy so many times, and it's like just might be to kind of get these guys.
I think they did have the quarterback DTR who got drafted to the Browns. I think they did like a few visits with him and stuff like that.
And then there's that corner that the Cardinals, I remember, drafted last year too, that they had met with a few times. But then you have linebacker Jeffrey Bassa, wide receiver Tez Johnson. To me, he's undersized though. Defensive lineman Shamari Caldwell, quarterback Dylan Gabriel, offensive tackle Ajin Cornelius, running back Jordan James, and then cornerback Jabbar Muhammad, who I actually like, but he's going to be probably an undrafted or 7th round.
Yeah. I think Tez Johnson's going to fall possibly there too, because he's really slow 40.
It was like a 4.5,
that's a draft killer. Yeah, it was like a 4.57. I guess it was a 4.5. It was like a 4.57, 4.58. It was really slow.
Saw that,
and he doesn't play like that though. If you watch him play,
he's also small though.
And he's super small too.
The thing is, I don't remember what Jacob Cowings was, but sometimes it's just the speed on like film and game tape is faster than what they actually run at the like combine or at the pro day. So
Jacob Cowling's 40 was 4.38. So he had the
Okay.
speed to be drafted
Yeah.
for sure. And it was also, I'm pretty sure, as small as Tez, if not Tez is smaller and stuff like that. But Tez's 40 time
Cowling's
was
like 5'8" or 5'9".
he ran a 4.51, so it wasn't as bad as a 4.57 or whatever. But still, you kind of want, if you're going to be that small, you got to be fast.
Let me see. I know Jacob Cowling's not like super tall. 5'9", yeah.
Yeah, so I think that
He's basically like my height almost, but yeah.
So Tez could be. I think Tez is going to fall. But if you get in the 6th, 7th round, I wouldn't complain. I mean, because I don't think the combine is everything, but scouts take it into account. So does GM and stuff, which causes players to fall. And I think Tez just kind of cost because Tez was going to be like a late 3rd round, early 4th round pick when he was before, and then all this like he had that incredible senior day and stuff like that, right? And then he runs that 40. Now everyone's like, okay, we're not drafting him.
Yeah, I think I know everybody was like saying, oh, Teterum, like Millen, for example, from Arizona, was going to drop. I don't see that being the case now because the dude's like a big, physical, tall receiver, but he absolutely killed it at his pro day in Arizona, like running the 40. So now I think he's going to be back up.
Yeah, he was falling like in the somewhere like the 19s or something like that, right?
Yeah, no, I don't see that happening now because of that 40 time that he ran. So,
a 4.48 at his pro day.
Yeah,
it was pretty fast. So. But the thing is, like, compared to like Golden and Luther Bird, I keep saying Junior, it's the 3rd, but Tatora he has question marks. I know you love him, but there is a question mark, and it's a big one. You are kind of taking a risk on him when you draft him, because you don't know if his ability to attack the football is going to translate into the NFL.
Yeah.
It does look phenomenal. It looks beautiful. It looks amazing. Like right when he attacks the ball, like 3 guys could be on him and he would still catch that ball. Okay, he's that good. He doesn't look great when he runs routes. He looks ugly as shit. But I mean, you are getting potentially a superstar, top 5 wide receiver in the NFL, potentially kind of type ball catcher, where it doesn't matter how slow he is. It doesn't matter what kind of route he runs. If you just put it up in the air, he's going to catch that with one hand way back here with 2 fingers like this. It does not matter.
Yeah, I mean,
translate.
I will say as a Zona fan, like, obviously I'd still watch his tape from this last year, but I'm also taking a little bit of under, salt because the system he was with, like, we had a brand new coach and he runs just this kind of weird scheme and offense. So I mean, I think maybe the year before, but I agree. I get what you mean. Like, there's still concern with him, but I would just kind of wanted to bring him up since we were talking about a guy that's like small.
If Seattle got him or Arizona or something like that, I would still have my questions. At that point, I would hope that I'm right about those. Like, not right.
I would literally. This table that my computer is on right now might get partially broken if he goes to a
division rival. Yeah, that's what's my biggest fear, because he could be so good, right? It doesn't matter how good Lenore is. It doesn't matter how good Green turns out to be or wherever we get.
I just think there's
so good that he will catch whatever comes.
Yeah, I think even with that concern you bring up, though, there's just other ways you can use him still so much, even if there's really that like concern and he doesn't translate as well as we think. But I mean, we'll see. But yeah, so definitely interesting pro day there for the Niners. So yeah, we'll definitely try to bring that when we can. And so, I mean, kind of going back to the special teams unit, how do we think they're going to be doing this year in 2025?
Oh, they're going to be great. And I know I'm a 49ers fan, so it's kind of hard to really assess it, take away the bias, because bias is real whether you like it or not if you try to remove it. But realistically speaking, based on the moves and based on who we got as a special teams coach, and we still have to see who the kicker is, the punter is, because Wisnowski still has back injury, and who the punt returner is. There's still questions.
Yeah.
But if you're going to ask me based on a defensive standpoint, if you're going to ask me based on allowing big yardage and stuff like that, I can answer that and say that we should be able to stop that. We have the guy who can scheme it up, knows what he's doing, and we have the players who are excellent gunners all over the place. So I can't exactly give you an answer for the kick return part.
Yeah.
I can't give you an answer with the Jake Moody part, but I could definitely give you an answer and say I think this team should be top 5 in special teams when it comes to that aspect.
Wow.
I am super confident because they got rid of every single.
Yeah,
Brian
no,
Schneider
I know. I'm just
And-
lowering my expectations still because, I mean, I get it,
Where are
Brand
you?
Boy.
Where are you setting your expectations? Where are you?
I'm hoping
between
like
expectations
top
and what you want.
15, like top
Top 15?
15. Yeah,
Okay.
I'd be happy with. And
Yeah,
that's
'cause we're
where
32. That's
want.
got you got
Yeah. So, but I think, yeah, it is kind of tough because you just have to see who they draft and stuff because some of those guys will be mainly special teams guys too, right? But I think there's no way that it gets worse when they were already 31 or 32 in some
Yeah, you
metrics.
can't.
So
You
gotta-
heard me. I was bitching and complaining. I was like, just put the janitor as the coach at this point. Like somebody, anyone. I don't care. But
yeah.
yeah. To go one of these questions back here, Juan says if they get Harmon, they have to trade back. Like they don't have to get Harmon. And what about that is like, I still think they should trade back because you'll still have options like Harmon,
Yeah.
Kenneth Grant, Walter Nolan. There's still some quality D tackles you can get in the 20s. It's kind of like what Strawberry says. Harmon will be gone in the 20s, so they don't want to trade backs to him. But it's like it's not a huge drop off. You got Tequil Williams from Ohio State, who can possibly is a fringe.
I don't think
first
he's going to
rounder.
be a first rounder though, is he?
He's a fringe. He's projected like as a fringe first rounder.
Because I feel like if
definitely
he's going to be a fringe first rounder, he's probably going near the end, right?
yeah. So he's going like the top from 28 to 32 type D tackle. Tequil
Yeah.
Williams is.
I mean, and then
Yeah.
you have your least favorite guy in Shamar Stewart too. That's
He's supposed to be a DN. Apparently, he's a DN.
I don't like him now either though.
I hate him with a passion, dude. I can't. I think whoever gets him, whatever team gets him, most of the fan base is going to be pissed off because they also feel that way. I'm seeing some people being excited about it and love what he did at the combine, but I'm also seeing more people freak out saying, "I hope my team doesn't draft Shamir Stewart." Like I hope not. They're going to do it too. So, yeah. Wolfie thinks this special teams unit would still be terrible under Brian. Oh, yes, I would.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I would. I don't think he would know what to do with them. I don't think he'd know how to do it.
Yeah, no, it would be.
There is a scheme involved with special teams. Whether you like it's one big play, really, but there's still scheme involved.
Like, yeah, and I think they're hopefully just gonna go through like the main things that they need to kind of do. And I mean, again, Brant Boyer is gonna would have watched the film, so he knows where they need to improve at to and what type of players that they only need to bring in. So we'll see, but I definitely see them improving special teams again. It'd be pretty shocking if they are another bad special teams unit.
Yeah, that would be. I just
really don't see
we have the
it.
best guy, all that. Yeah, it's just that I think we're just cursed if that happens. Hit that like button if you haven't hit that like button already, guys. We're at 11 likes.
Yes, hit that like, subscribe button. Trying to get to 200 subs. Someone
hit that.
Really
click it. Okay, click it. All right. Appreciate it. All right. Do you want to do the mock draft game?
Yeah, let us do a mock draft game. All right, so we are changing it up, guys. So how this is gonna work is, since we can't share, I guess, both screens at once, basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna have two different mock drafts. We're not gonna do trades because that just makes it so complicated.
Let's do trades. Come on.
Dude, it's gonna make it so okay. Fine, with 11 you can make a trade, but that's the only trade we're doing. Okay, just because it's gonna make it way too more.
If I bag a little more, can you do a second round pick? Second round pick too, maybe. So first and second, that's it. I'll cut it there. I'll cut it there.
All right, fine.
Okay, all right.
But anyways, what we're doing is basically we're gonna both have the exact same pick, so we're gonna have to both pull the same trades off. And basically what ends up happening is Wolfie, let's say, goes first. Let's say we stay at 11 and he takes Membu. Now that means I cannot take Membu because he already took him. So I have to take someone else with 11. So that way you guys can kind of see like how it could look kind of with two different perspectives and just change it up instead of like just going with the same
It'll
players.
make a lot more it would add like not a competition to it, but allow a lot more like thought process and a lot more of a. It's not as simple as I'm gonna take that guy. I'm gonna take that guy. And do you want to do a clock?
No, I think that's fine.
No. Okay. What kind do you want to use? Pro Football Network, or do you want to use the NFL simulator?
Oh, that's right. Okay, you don't have PFF, so we can't.
No,
do
I
that.
can't.
Which one lets you do trades out of those two?
Both those do. That's so you can use PFN Network or NFL Draft. You can either do NFL Mock Draft Database.com or ProFootballNetwork.com.
Okay, whichever one you want, I guess.
I recently have done ProFootballNetwork.com, so we do that. I like them both, but let's just do Pro Football Network.
Okay. Alrighty, are we doing? Okay, so we're doing 7 rounds, Niners. Are we getting what pace were you thinking?
I think it's really kind of up to you, right? Like I don't think it really matters, right? Because they do move slow and fast, but I think if you move fast, I think the picks are a lot more random.
I'm gonna do normal.
I'm gonna go slow, so that way it's not weird. But I don't think it's gonna be slow. I think it's gonna be.
I'll do slow Niners 7 rounds. Enter
7 rounds. Okay.
Okay.
And it starts immediately, by the way, so it just jumps straight to your pick. So
okay.
Once you
once it gets to left. Okay. Do you want to share your screen?
Yeah, I'll do it right now.
Okay, and then I'll also put mine up, and then we'll just switch between the two.
All right. So we're doing a mock draft, y'all. Let's go, baby. I'm gonna win. I'm here to win.
Yeah, what happened last time with the Jason?
Got lucky, all because people don't know about Nick Scorton. That's it. That's the only
reason.
Right,
let me know when you put your screen up so I can.
All right, there you go. I have to use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Alrighty.
Well, you want to spin the wheel? See who goes first?
It's fine. I'll let you go first.
Oh.
Alrighty. So, again, this is how it's gonna work. We're both gonna pick at 11. Maybe we trade down, but we have to have the exact same like picks. And then basically what ends up happening is, we can't pick the same players. So let's see what ends up happening. Still waiting for Wolfie, but yeah.
I know. Poor. I know. Hold on.
It's fine. Alrighty. So here we go. Pick 11. How far do we want to drop?
Well, I could pick 1-6. They're offering me a second round pick there. I'm not against
the 16 and 47.
Yeah. I'm waiting for my iPods to kick in. Hold on. AirPods. Oh, couldn't connect. What are you talking about? There you go. Tripping. All right. With the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
Dare I help them? Dude, okay, that's pretty good.
But I don't want to go all the way to 30.
Well, this is me, though, right?
No, but we both have to agree on the trade because we're going to make the same trades.
Oh, we're making the same trades?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think we should do that.
Well, no, because the whole point is to have the exact same picks and just like change up who we're picking, like to where we cannot pick the same players. That's
okay. Well,
that's why I was saying like trades are gonna just make it complicated.
Okay. Well, I guess then let's not do trades then, because then that does make it a little bit complicated. So,
all right.
Like this is a great trade and this is a great trade.
Yeah.
You're tripping.
Whatever. Alrighty, so here at 11, who are you taking?
Okay, so Shamir Stewart. Okay, offense. Your McMillan guys there. Simmons. There's no real great offense guy that's worth it right now. Will Johnson, nice. Jalen Walker, I know a lot of people like him. I'm gonna go. Kenneth Grant's back here, so is Walter Nolan.
Damn, they have guys so much down in this mock draft simulator.
I'm gonna go ahead and take James Pierce is not bad either, but I'm gonna go ahead and take James Pierce. I'm gonna take Derek Harmon. Take Derek Harmon.
Alrighty, so he takes Derek Harmon. So now what ends up happening is I put mine up, and I cannot take Derek Harmon, right? Since he took him. So I do like the guy that at the top of the board, but I'm just gonna see who is there. So again, I can't take him. Damn, I'm surprised they have Walter Nolan this down.
What was everyone picking Harmon now? Oh, what probably was with everyone picking Harmon now? Because he's a pure D tackle, and the 49ers are doing that visiting thing. So
Jahad Barron though, man. But this guy is on the clock, and I am taking Armand Membu. Give Mr. Brock Purdy that protection. It's gonna fit great with this offense. Fast guy. I think he again fits great with this zone kind of offense. So yeah.
I think Membu on my board went to the Jets. So, yeah. All right. I'm still waiting for mine to load up. I thought if I trade back, so it's going slow. Edge, Mike Green is out there. I think we're going to move on from him just because there's players like Jared Ivey. I like character issues too. I like Kenneth Kennard. I like Kyle Kennard. I like Jared Ivory. Gillette's not bad. Josiah Stewart is like your discount Jalen Walker. Like if you like Jalen Walker, right, and you miss out on Jalen Walker, Josiah Stewart's your guy. He could play back a little bit linebacker wise, and then he can play pass rusher as well. He's about the same size, just like he's 6'1" instead of 6'2" compared to Jalen Walker. He's literally like just the spitting image of that player. So if you miss out,
Strawberry approves, baby.
Strawberry approves.
This mock draft is approved by Strawberry Reacts.
All right. Ooh, I got Walter Nolan or Tyleek Williams on the board. Holy badonkers. Okay, I think Jared Ivey will be there at 75. That's what I'm counting on kind of hard there. D-tackle. So I'm either taking Walter Nolan or Tyleek Williams, no question.
Didn't you already go D-tackle too, though?
Yeah, but we need two D-tackles.
I mean, yeah, we do.
We need two D-tackles. Now, if I get this out of the way now, I guess I could possibly go Joshua Farmer, the 100th pick, but I'm really gambling because I think on here he's like the 104th or 6th pick. And he's 6'2", but he's a solid guy. That I kind of want a bigger guy there. Pause. 6'3", Walter Nolan. Edge. There's that guy. Josiah Stewart. Jack Sawyer is at 104, which would be an absolute steal. Offense. Who we got? We got Donovan Jackson. Great at guard there. I can get a starting D tackle at 75, I think. And I think I can get potentially someone else at 100 as well. So I think getting an offensive lineman here would be solid. And I'm probably going to take Jason's guy, Donovan Jackson, with this pick. Okay. Guard, perfect. He'll be dominant. I do like him a lot. I don't know if he could play center, though. I wish that Gray Zabel was still on this board.
Let's take him, bro. Let's take him.
Let's take him. Where the fuck? I'm going to take Donovan Jackson. There you go.
All righty. So for me, all right. So I'm thinking, all right, we just went offense tackle. I don't really like a lot of these other edge rushers on my board, so I may just go with Landon Jackson, even though it's going to be a little bit of a reach. I do like the defensive tackles, but I'm hoping maybe a TJ Sanders or someone else like here drops. So I'm going to go.
Brother, we need D tackle, man.
We need an edge too, bro.
I know, but like, all right. It's your board, but I'm just saying like D tackle. I'm surprised you're not going D tackle. I do like your first pick, Membu, because he can technically play guard and tackle. So you got two
Don't
positions filled.
could
There.
also wait on Sawyer, I guess maybe. You know what? We are gonna go with Kenneth Grant here.
You have Kenneth Granville, dude. That's a great pick. You have a
Yeah,
great
we're gonna
draft so
go
far.
with him there.
That's a great pick.
Alrighty. Next up.
So,
Come
all
on,
right.
gotta keep this going.
Mine is either going to be Alfred Collins if he falls. I think he'd be perfect at 6'5". I think he'd be perfect on the other end of Harmon there. You have the perfect D-tackle situation. Edge, Jared Ivey falls there. That'd be great. I don't know why this is slowing down. Usually it doesn't go this slow. Usually it's faster than that. Like it's paused. Oh, why did it pause? I didn't pause. I didn't hit pause. Did I?
I know it's so slow.
There you go. Now it's moving. So, all right.
Wait, are these picks updated? I'm not sure. Like with our new picks,
What do you mean?
like the trades that we made recently. You know, with like Debo and
Yeah, it is. You got
is,
pick
okay.
one. You got pick 147 right there.
Okay, cool.
113, 138. All right, so 75th pick here. I got to choose between Jared Ivey, I think he's and Jack Sawyer later on. D tackle. I like Norman Lott. I like Alfred Collins a lot too, but I also like Joshua Farmer. He's solid. Who do I got so far? I got Derek Harmon and a guard. I almost feel like I should have gone edge instead, but Alfred Collins next to Derek Harmon, I think would just be insane. And then I could probably get an edge later and get Jared Ivey or Jack Sawyer at 100. I think one of those guys will be there for sure. If not, I'd be really disappointed. Or Josiah Stewart would be my last choice. D tackle wise, I almost want to take Alfred Collins. If I can get Alfred Collins, man, it's between Alfred Collins and Josh. This is tough. Jared Ivey. This is actually hard. This is I actually expected this to be kind of easy. This is actually kind of tough. I'm not gonna lie. Joshua Farmer is what 6'3", 300. I mean, I like Jared Ivey a lot too much, and I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of shit from passing on Alfred Collins and taking Jared Ivey instead. But I think Jared Ivey is Landon Jackson, but better. So. He's 6'6", so he's 6'5" here, but his measurements at the combine supposed to be 6'6", 274 pounds. He's more finesse with some speed. Ran a 4.75 at his size. I'm just gonna take Ivy just because I love Malai's like a draft crush of mine. So I'm taking Ivy at 75th pick.
Alrighty. Okay. Now when I get this done with. Alrighty. So
Next, I'm taking D-Tac next one for sure.
Thinking maybe DT, but I do like CJ West, so I may like reach a little bit for him at the 100 mark. Who'd you go with again?
I went with Jared Ivey from Ole Miss.
Okay, so I can't take him.
And I would not trade Purdy for Abdul Carter. I'm not trading Purdy for anything.
Oh, there's Kyle Kennard. I actually do kind of like that. Corners.
Unless you give me Josh Allen, I probably would.
Oh, Kuba, man.
Okay, so I've been trying to stay away from the safeties in my recent mock drafts just because we got so many so many safeties.
Do we take a running back here? You know,
at 75.
Hey, Niners, bro, come on.
They've done that 3 times. Relax.
I know. I'm trolling the chat a little. Okay.
You're trolling me, man.
Yeah, we're gonna go Kyle Kennard.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay, I like that.
Trenches.
Okay.
Maybe we'll just go to the 5th round because this thing's gonna take so long.
All right, so it's my turn.
Yep.
All right, I'm taking Joshua Farmer. This is gonna be fast. Actually, you know what? What do we got? Birch, Barron, Chris. I don't like Chris Paul. Actually, there's a lot of linebackers here I do not like. There's corners here I do not like that other people love. So yeah, Joshua Farmer is the best. Is the best D tackle available. I'm taking Joshua Farmer, Florida State.
All right.
My D tackle is perfect, dude. I got 2 D
Okay,
tackles.
so
Jared
we're
Ivey.
at 100, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we're gonna just get to like round 5, 147. Because there's just
You
so
gotta take a
many.
shit.
No, there's just so many picks and getting close to dinner time. So,
Gotcha.
alrighty. So let me think. Ooh, Jack Sawyer. I do like that. Linebacker Danny Schwartzman. Okay. Oh, Kobe
Grant
Bryant.
tries to cause any kind of friction. Strawberry. I don't take anything he says seriously.
Reject. All right. Let me go. Ooh, Alfred Collins, Shamar Turner.
You got Alfred Collins at 100.
Mm-hmm.
Are you fucking kidding me? Sorry, I'm gonna curse, but are you serious? Like, I'm just so blown away by that. He's available right now.
Come on, let me see.
How many D tackles do you got?
One, but I really freaking like CJ West, man. I said I was gonna reach
What?
for him here, bro. CJ West is the pick. I do not
That's
care.
6'1" guy. Are you serious?
Yes, 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 yes.
Oh
Alright,
my
anyways,
god!
go ahead.
Oh,
Stop.
you over. Oh my god, dude, you're killing me, brother. You're killing me, man. All right,
3 more picks.
you killed me. Oh, I gotta breathe for a second. All right, so 113, Demetrius Knight, absolute steal, I think. Danny Stutzman, I like both these guys.
All right, go in the night, bro. Night, you know.
Kobe Bryant is more of a safety. Melo Dotson. I feel like Kobe Bryant should transition to safety. Billy Bowman's available.
Bro, Kobe Bryant's such a stud.
I watched him, bro. He's way more of a safety. He should transition to safety.
What?
He really should. I watched him. Yeah. I actually watched him today. So, Ricky White, great special teams guy. Savon Williams, my draft crush wide receiver. He is 6'3". He varies. Some say he's 6'3".
We don't need another Debo Samuel.
He's so good though, dude.
We don't
Savon
need another
Williams is
Debo.
going to be great.
No.
Ollie
No.
Gordon, absolute stud. But I do like the running back that Larry Kruger's obsessed with that I can get later. This guy, Kyle McGonigal, this guy right here. He's Jordan Mason reincarnate, if not better. Tight end, get him later too, if I wanted to, if we were going to go further. We already got the guard. Center is Jake. Yeah, he's not here. D tackle, Pegas is dope. 6'2", phenomenal D tackle. Got 2 Notre Dame guys, I think. 1 Notre Dame guy. Okay. CJ West overrated. I'm just talking shit. We don't pick for another 138, and I don't think Demetrius Knight is going to be there, and we need that linebacker. If it was, I would totally take Pegas here for a third D tackle if we could, but Demetrius Knight he's just a plug and play starter. I'm surprised he's down this far, and I like Billy Bowman a lot too at safety, but we need that linebacker, and I think Demetrius Knight screams Robert Saleh linebacker. Chosen. Well, Savon Williams is more than just I can't hear you, man. I can't hear you. There you go.
I'm going Kobe Bryant. Okay, it was by accident. I pressed the mute button on the mic.
You went Kobe Bryant?
Yes, sir.
Damn. Is it just because his name's Kobe Bryant, isn't it?
No, dude, he's a stud.
He's got a 4.53.
Him and
He
Azaria
plays
Thomas,
good
bro.
zone, man. He's a good tackle
Bro,
too. But
Azaria Thomas and him are studs, bro.
all right, 138. Who we got? Okay, so we got D tackle, guard. That'll start for
Okay, so
forever.
2 more picks. All right.
2 D tackle and a linebacker. The only thing we know is a safety, corner, running back, wide receiver, tight end. depth-wise. I guess the only thing we really need that's not depth would be corner, and then maybe a safety. Mello Dotson. I love Mello Dotson's 10 folds better than Kobe Bryant. I'm calling it now. And you can hold that to me. By the way, you can hold that to me. You can be like, all right, let's see who turns out to be better, Kobe Bryant or Mello Dotson. They're both from Kansas State, but we'll see who turns out to be better. Yeah,
Appreciate you, Strawberry.
Strawberry has an awesome draft right now.
You know, it's got me.
Mine's better, dude. It's 10 folds better.
Nah, bro. I got Membu, bro. And I got Kenneth Grant. And I got Kyle Kennard, CJ West, Kobe Bryant, bro.
You picked CJ West over Alex Collins, my man.
I'm having a good draft, man. Niners aren't going to take Alfred Collins, bro. There's no way. Ain't no way.
I'm not trying to do what the Niners are going to do. I'm trying to do what I think is
I'm doing that's what I do. I always try to look at what I think the Niners.
All right. So the running back corner-wise, I'm going to take Mello Dotson here. I got to make sure we get the better of the Kansas corners. So I'm going to take Mello Dotson. And we need a corner. So I guess if we were playing longer, I would have taken Noah Williams because I think Noah Williams is he's a steal. I think no at 190.
Alrighty, let me just bring up my draft now. Alrighty, boys. Alright, so 2 more picks here. We've gone corner, gone DT. Who else could we? I do. Jordan Phillips, man.
Pegasus is still there.
Linebacker. Okay, I can't take Demetrius Knight because you took him. And the Niners did go to this guy's pro day today. So I'm taking Jeffrey Bassa.
Jeffrey Bassa. Gotcha. Okay. All right.
Alrighty, last pick now.
I think 160 isn't that the last pick's 160?
Well, we were just going to do the top 150.
Oh, well, that changes everything. Okay. Well, because I was going to get my running back, who I agree with Larry Krueger is an absolute stud.
I'm sorry, I do not listen to Larry Krueger when it comes to draft content.
He reaches a lot, I'll give you that much. But
that is the last person I am listening to when it comes to the draft. Because I hear a name, and then he's like, he's so good, bro. And then I see that, he's going in the 6th or 7th round or undrafted.
I think he said that Cody Schrader was Emmitt Smith and somebody else. Now, that's crazy. I thought that was crazy at the time, too. He calls Kyle Monange here. Who is it? He calls him Barry Sanders. He's like, I see Barry Sanders. And I'm like, dude, relax, bro. That's too much, man. Barry Sanders. All right, so between him, I like Nick Nash as well. Evans not bad. Conyers get later on too as well. I think right now just getting a solid running back is probably the way to go. But seriously though, check out Kyle.
I will.
He's not good though. I'm serious. He's actually good.
I will.
Pegasus is nice. How many D tackles we got? We got what? 2 D tackles. I think it wouldn't hurt to get a third one right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and just take a third D tackle, and I think Pegasus is dope. The dopest dope you've ever smoked.
You just love to steal my guys, huh?
That was the first guy I've ever took. I think that's the first guy actually. I'll take Pegasus there.
I know who I'm taking. All right, he's gonna be a reach, and that's because this dumb board. I don't think he should be this low, but I know the Niners met with him and apparently like it. And I'm going with the UCLA product right here.
Pegasus, not Pegasus, but
Oladejo or whatever.
Oh yeah, where it's complex name.
Yeah, I'm gonna just take him. But alrighty, that is the mock draft.
Just so that I want to see if he's there. And my running back got taken, so thank God we didn't go to the 60th pick. I would have been pissed off.
Anyways, I am not putting that Jake comment back up. That was a bad idea.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. That's not good. But yeah, he's actually. I was shocked too. Sometimes whenever he mentions a guy, I'll go check him out, see if I get my own opinion.
Yeah, I
on it.
mean,
So,
I'll go check them out, but it's just like, bro, every
Yeah,
time
he-
I see someone, it's like they're so low on the.
you should check out. I guess I'm not saying this just to get views or whatever, but I recently did an all Larry Krueger draft last night,
Mhm.
and it's where I draft nothing but Larry Krueger players.
I thought
It was-
you were actually gonna have Larry Krueger on, but then I realized you clickbait and actually never had him.
No,
Because
it's
I
all
remember
Larry
you
Krueger
do.
mock draft.
No, because I remember you did that like when I first like found your channel. And I'd
Oh
be like,
yeah. I remember
and then I'd
talking
be
about
like, this guy doesn't have this guy on. It's total click.
this slide second shit.
Hey,
I hear you. But no, I did an all mock draft of hit nothing but his picks. Every single one of them, I had to there were reaches, man. I had to trade back, or I had to seriously reach for a player. I was drafting late fourth round picks, early third, not early third, but like late third or like early fourth, and it's just like, dude, what is going on, man?
yeah.
What is going on? So that was honestly one of the hardest. That was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do in a mock draft was choose only players that he drafted in mock drafts. He's only drafted 3 like first rounders ever, and that was Kenneth Grant. He's never drafted Derek Harmon. He's drafted Walter Nolan multiple times. He loves Walter Nolan.
I do like
And
Walter Nolan though.
And Kenneth Grant, and then Jalen Walker. Those are the only 3 like first round draft picks he's ever drafted. And so I was like, so if I trade back, this is dangerous because I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to get anybody.
Well, already
So
appreciate you. But appreciate everybody in here. Joe, Jake, Strawberry, Kenny.
I didn't say no politics when you made a joke. I was saying no politics to Juan said that he was going to make a joke that was politics. I said no politics.
Yeah, not Tyler, even though he's a Chiefs fan. Excuse me, throwback.
He's a good guy though, man. Don't hate on Tyler, man. He's a good guy.
No. I know Dre Area Sports probably gonna hit him up to help me fix my mic up a little bit, and then Jason and 49er George from the Twitch, Val B, Niner for Life, Joshua Lilly. I think that's basically got everybody.
Back into it, man. You got to be like, Strawberry in the house. Thank you so much for being here, man. Joe Boyd.
Jimmy,
man.
not Jimmy G, but Jimmy.
Jimmy, put some respect on his name, Jimmy.
Yes, sir. But appreciate
Tyler
you guys.
Helton, thank you so much.
But alrighty, guys. This is unfortunately gonna be my last show, probably with Wolfie, and it's not because I don't hate him or anything. Okay,
The Jordan Mason thing really caused tension.
No. It's just I have an internship now. I got starting soon, so like basically next week. So gotta focus on.
Try to work something out, but don't like hold us to it or anything. So if this turns out to be the last show, man, hey, I had a great time. I had a blast, dude. I loved our shows together, man.
Otherwise, I mean, we'll definitely try to do one in the future for sure. Yeah. But yeah,
no doubt, man, no doubt. But
appreciate everybody in here.
All right, man. All right.
Alrighty.
All love, Wolfpack.
Go Niners.
Bang, bang, gang, baby.
Thank you, George. Yeah, I'm still going to drop content. It's just I won't be like dropping videos right when news breaks or something. It's just because like obviously I'll have to wait till evening. But yeah, I'm still going to
really honestly takes up his time.
I'll be making content still. That's for sure. But alrighty.
All right, guys.
Peace out.